Alright, guys, I think we should be live now. Let me just check if everything is alright. And then I'll get into the analysis. Share the stream on all the socials. Oh my. In the title I still have day trading Nasdaq and stocks. That's of course not the case on Saturday. Let me actually change that. It's only crypto. Just a standard stream title. There we go. Just realized. It's alright though. Identified the problem and quickly solved it.
But then even that shit a fucking problem. Like niggas don't got no money to spend. They fucking wild and think they can fuck with me. Nah, like they fucking nasty.
Alright, share the stream on Twitter, change the title. I think we are all good. Everything's running. If someone is in the chat, let me know if the music is loud enough or if it is too loud. Because, you know, I'm just here listening to my own music, just chilling and analyzing. That, of course, is a problem while recording a live stream and making the videos, the music on the background, because I cannot upload this music into a video. That's fine though. Let's briefly go over Bitcoin first. I have done this literally. I am going over Bitcoin every day, every single time, and when I do that, there hasn't been much change at all. So I do just want to go over this quickly, point out the big facts here, what I'm waiting for, what we are doing locally right now, and what has changed compared to yesterday. So Bitcoin, still these two scenarios I am really watching for Bitcoin for higher time frame rotations towards the upside. That 95k, I am looking at that on for a while now. So but of course we can only trade to that if we get one of these options. That would be great. These would be, I like to call them, the market maker signals that the market is giving me, that the market makers are filling up orders on the bottom. And you know, if we are grabbing liquidity on the bottom, it's just a matter of time till we've grabbed enough. We can get rotation towards the other side of the liquidity, which is the technical target of this TCT schematic is 95k. So I am looking into that as potential targets if one of these scenarios is playing out. For the rest, the price action is not really interesting. We just grinded up literally for 1 or 2 weeks. We touched our 8-hour supply and we started going down from there. We broke structure here. This is the part that brought us up to new highs. We lost that, and that means expectation order flow. The 4-hour would be a lower high for new lows. So I'm still expecting for new lows to be made. And also this local part trend has switched. You had this pullback that brought you towards new highs. You broke below it, and now you're actually holding resistance at this breaker here. So I'm still expecting price action towards locally new lows, at least towards these equal lows. I thought we would take it out right here, to be honest. But apparently they do want to bait in more longers to gain more liquidity. And that's actually more of a good sign than a bad sign. So that means this whole box, there will be more liquidity in here. That also makes it interesting for the market makers to rotate towards that box and then take out all of the retail positions and actually fill up their own orders to then push the price up. So it just increases the odds of these possible situations, which is great. So let's look at the local picture. It's quite interesting because since Friday we are building liquidity on the high, so we need liquidity from the bottom. This has been a major fight here. That is because, of course, Trump announced this was from the Trump tariffs, I think. When Trump announced the new tariffs, that's when we got this reaction. And what we did here, this is the local part that brought us up to new highs, that also broke structure right here. And that is also what the news did, was we broke below it. We started building liquidity on the bottom, and expectation order flow was still this lower high for new lows. So I'm expecting nothing less for price action. If we start to lose, then we'd have to look at this local part. If we start to lose this pullback towards new highs, so let's mark this out. If we do start to lose this part, then I am expecting price action, just creating loon lows here, because we do have 3-4 good liquidity lows building up here now. And of course the low to the left that we've just made equals with. I'm expecting price action to go there. Locally it's down until proven otherwise. This is the trend, right? And we're just gonna follow that trend until it's proven otherwise. So that briefly was Bitcoin for me. If there's any questions about Bitcoin, then definitely let me know. And, if there's not any questions about Bitcoin, then I am gonna switch over to the next one, the next pair. I'm going over Ethereum, and then I do want to go over 3 crypto coins that someone from my Discord has requested. And if you're new here, yes, I do have a Discord. I'm trying to build a community there, a community full of enthusiastic traders that are trying to learn, and of course we are here to help. We can learn from each other, and that way we can become better traders. So I'm gonna drop that link into the chat. If you're interested, it's totally free to join. So we'll see you in there. Alright, Bitcoin. Let's go over Ethereum, and then let's check out the 3 coins that our brother in the Discord has requested. And those coins are Solana, CRV, and ENA. Just 1 second. If you're in the stream, then also come chat with us. I would love to spar about some charts, and if someone disagrees with my analysis, then I would definitely let me know why you think that way, and maybe I can change your mind, or you can change my mind. a good sip of coffee, and let's get into ETH. ETH was kind of interesting what we did Friday, I think. Quickly skip the song. Because we had that crazy low that we have put in on Ethereum, which was such a scare jump, and we just started trending them off there for another 16 days. But what happened here? Everyone got pretty bullish on Ethereum, while it should not have been the case, because there's only a few signs you have to look at, and that is your high time frame structure. And yes, structure is basic, but structure is key. And that is right here. This is the low that brought you to a high, and that high brought you towards a new low. So that also means you are in a downtrend, and everything that is happening between this high and this low is internal. And this internal was pretty obvious that we are building liquidity on the bottom till we have grabbed enough liquidity on the highs to then reverse price to the liquidity on the bottom again, because that was just our expectational order flow again, another lower high for a new lower low. That goal has been reached. We have made a new lower low, but not confirmed structure wise. It's just with the wick. So that is quite interesting, because what could happen here is you could create something like this, where you have this range, and you could have a little market maker signal down here, building liquidity above, take it out one more time, and then there is a possibility you could start trending, that you have those range starting points right here, took out this liquidity, take out more liquidity, and a scenario like this would look a lot like order filling from the market makers to then push the price up towards at least that range high. So I do want to sketch in that scenario right now with what we are doing, but we're not there yet. A lot of needs to develop from price for that to happen, but I am looking into that. Why do I have this line here with just an arrow pointing down? Because if we cannot break that structure, then price will remain bearish, because we've made new lows, a lower high, and we've made that new low from there. So that also means, once again, everything that is happening between these 2 points is internal. But our expectation order flow on the 1 hour, even no, not even 2 hour, it's just 1 hour structure, this pull is still bearish. So we can still expect price to make that lower high for a new lower low. And then it gets a bit scary for Ethereum, of course, because we are pretty low on Ethereum, and if we are downtrending like this, we need liquidity from the bottom. Okay, where is that liquidity? The liquidity could be in this demand zone right here. The liquidity could be at these lows. We don't know yet until it happens, but I am looking at let's see what price levels these are on ETH. I am expecting some reaction on ETH here, between 1650 and 1500 on ETH. This is quite annoying actually what just happened, because my headset has just worn off and that means my headset is dead. Let me quickly put in a cable on my headset, because or else I would not know what you guys are listening to with the music I'm playing. 1 second.
But you're so bad. I told you I miss you, but it ain't adding up. My action different. I see you're trying to find peace. So me, I just chose distance. This will whip go 0 to 100 quick, I'm there in an instant. I've been smoking weed all week, trying to get you off my mind. I don't know why.
Okay, I think it should be fixed now. Yeah. Sorry for that little problem, guys. Let's continue with the analysis. Take a sip of coffee. Okay. I hope you guys don't hear that sound from my headset, or else it would be pretty annoying. If so, then I'm sorry. Okay, Ethereum. Well, down until proven otherwise, the market wants to seek liquidity on the bottom. Where could that liquidity be? I've just marked out those 2 points right there. And from there we could expect, on the higher time frame, we could expect something to form for a possible rotation towards those highs again, something like this. Where you also would have something like this rounding bottoming a little. Could be the case, but not there yet, just a scenario pointing out we are traders, we react, we don't predict, so we have to draw in multiple scenarios and be prepared for the market, because the market is unexpected on what it does, so we need to have a plan for pretty much everything. Yeah, that's pretty much Ethereum, literally. So Ethereum and Bitcoin done. Let's get into the interesting coins for my friend, my buddy from the Discord. Zinkai, brother. Okay. Remove these little things. And Solana has been a bit interesting lately. Okay, this is annoying. Clean the chart up. There we go. Okay, so what I would be looking at on Solana. We are still in this last to hold box. And why do I call this my last to hold box? Because this is the wick that took out all of this liquidity, and from there price started to reverse. And this was the last internal liquidity that we could have taken out before we could test this manipulation wick. I wanted this wick to be protected because market makers definitely stepped in here and started pushing price up. This would be our extreme liquidity from that move. So the most beautiful thing from Solana, for in order to maintain bullish, we need to hold this low and we need to start rotating up from here. We'll get into the local picture in a second if that is the case right now or if it's not the case. If it's not the case, then I do have a zone marked out below here. That zone is around a $90 to a $80 on Solana. It is a last demand. This is the last manipulation leg here once again before we started uptrending, so it is a good point. And we do have just liquidity sitting below. So I do expect if we lose this level, we're straight away going towards $80 and $90 on Solana. But we're not there yet. So let's zoom in and see what's going on here. Let's check out 12 hour. Pretty much the same on every other chart. It's just one word I do use a lot. It's down until proven otherwise. It also works the same around, of course. I mean, if I do the chart like this, the chart is still down until proven otherwise, and that is because this low brought us to a high. That high did not bring us to new highs, but no, it brought us to new lows. So that's a downtrend, and we've made a lower high and a lower low. So expectation order flow would be a lower high for a new lower low. No matter what is happening in between, the expectation order flow of the higher time frame is still the lower high for the lower low. Okay, so always keep that in mind when you start trading up like this, because these are no jokes. 20%, right? There are longs to make here, but those longs, you cannot take them all the way to new all-time highs. You cannot be delusional on your targets, because if you are buying here, you are buying in a higher time frame downtrend. So your targets should be adjusted to those points as well. All right. What do I want to see on Solana? Because even on the local picture, you are just working on that higher time frame objective, which is making this new low. It are pretty much equal lows now, but on the 4 hour, this is your buy to sell. This is your lower high towards your new lower low. So if we can never manage to break this high, we can still expect price to make that rotation towards new lows. Alright, that's important to know. Yeah, that's basically for Solana right now. Let's zoom into this part here. This is really your first objective to get upside, but if you stay below it, it's down until proven otherwise. 1 hour time frame, we have made a little gain here. This is interesting. It's there we go. Need to keep the charts clean, because of course on the 4 hour we need to break this high, but on the 1 hour there is some strength coming, and that is because this high brought us towards new lows, and that is also the high we just broke with this low. So if you start drawing this in, this would be your change of character. It's your first change if you're in a downtrend. Your first change above a break of structure is called a change of character. The break after is just a break of structure. It's just TA terms is what we call it. Okay, you have your change of character. This means the trend have changed on the 1 hour. Yes, there is some room up. You could come all the way here, test this last little buy to sell before actually making new lows. So I would be interested in looking for possible longs down there. This is your last pullback before you've made that new high. So this is also the structure you want to hold. What I like about this structure is we had a bit of manipulation here. Because a lot of people would be following this trend right here. This higher low to new high. So they would be playing this this higher low for a new high, but that actually got denied by the market. We took out all of those people, and then we got the run up. So that's actually a pretty bullish sign from the market. So hold this level and you can expect upsides on the local part. Of course, you would have to break local structure for in order to get a rotation towards this high again. And what do I mean by that? Well, if you start downtrending like this, you need to break this local structure for in order to get that rotation towards the high. Like this, if you manage to break it, should change of character again, then two time frames align. Two structured time frames align, your internal and your high time frame here. This is your high time frame and this would be your internal structure. If those two align, you have a really strong direction of your trend. And this would be your opportunity to play it at least towards those highs again. But we would have to wait for that break and then we could play into it. If we do not get that break, then even though this trend is up, we are just gonna go down. So I have to be patient with that. Nothing to see locally. It's still, if you manage to hold this high, we're gonna make on new lows till that local trend change is changed, like I just said. Where could we expect that bounce that I was talking about? Then we would have to look at the left, because what is going on here? What has happened right here? Let's see. Messy. What I don't like is this part. This is just liquidity. No manipulation. Well, a little bit here. Grabbed a little bit of liquidity before starting this trend up. So it could mean there's a zone here. Let's check the other time frames. Yeah, it's pretty much this bottom bit. So point of interest. This is your extreme demand. If you lose this level, I do expect you to go towards this low. Zinedine Henny, quick question to you. Brother, come on with the questions. I would love to hear them. Go ahead. Chart Smith, brother man. Welcome to the stream, buddy. Glad you're here. It's my moderator there. In the meantime, while you set up your question, Zinedine, not sure how to pronounce it. Hope I pronounce it the right way. And if not, then I'm sorry. But you know, I mean you. In the meantime, let's continue. Oh, actually, the question is already out. Seeing how relatively strong Bitcoin held up with the tariffs, do you think they actually priced in Bitcoin or crypto? Do you think they actually priced in Bitcoin or crypto? Still trying to figure out how to feel about it. Oh man, a lot of speculations have been going around by it, because of course the payment system, the tariffs, it's all on US dollars, and I've seen a few posts. Imagine if Trump decides to tell to the other countries paying in crypto is less tariffs, right? That would be insane. Crypto would blow up. But I'm not saying it's going to happen, and I'm not saying it is not going to happen. I have no freaking idea, okay? Those are just speculations from other people, and I'm not sure about them. You're asking my thoughts on it. Bitcoin did held strong up with the tariffs. Of course, it's not directly correlated to like the Nasdaq is, because that thing has literally dumped so hard. It did held up strong. Well, I think news events are just I wouldn't say excuse for the market to do what they intended to do, but it just speeds things up. If I just look at Bitcoin the technical way, I'm not a fundamental trader, I just look at the technicals of the market and then decide in which direction it's going to go. But you know, America is holding Bitcoin. There is world adoption for cryptocurrency. Yeah, there could be some future upside, and if I look at the chart, that could also be the case. If I look at the chart, it's not that bearish at all. It's still down until proven otherwise, but if I just look at the chart, I still think these scenarios could be great for upside. And I think the tariffs have more impact on the stocks, on the Nasdaq, and those kind of things, and euro currencies, forex currencies. You know, those really impact the tariffs. But crypto, it doesn't directly impact them. You know, it actually. I wouldn't say it is positive for crypto, but it makes it more interesting for other parties, like other countries, to use crypto. And America is gonna lead crypto, of course. Trump has decided that. And is it a matter of time before other countries follow? I don't know. I cannot look into the future, but those are possibilities, of course. And once again, when I look at this chart, it's not that bearish anymore. Okay, we were really bearish when we touched this and we started making new lows, lower high and a new low. But right now it actually starting to look like market makers are accumulating on Bitcoin. I've talked about Bitcoin at the beginning of the stream and it was actually looking okay. And these are the two scenarios I would be looking at on Bitcoin, but it's not looking that bad, man. I do not think, personally, you know, not financial advice, I do not think the cycle top is in. I think we're gonna go over those highs one more time, and that is just based off liquidity, because look at what we are leaving behind. If this was really a cycle top, don't you think the market makers would need this liquidity, stop all of those retail players out, to then start reversing price? The same thing happened to Bitcoin all the way down here. The same thoughts got into my head, because you were building up so much liquidity on those highs, and you would think, if Bitcoin is not gonna make a new all-time high again, do you really think they do not need this liquidity in order to get that reversion all the way to the bottom? Well, about a technical standpoint, you would need that liquidity. And what you were basically doing, you were accumulating right here. It was so obvious, but a lot of panic in that price section. Grabbing liquidity on the bottom till we've grabbed enough to then reverse price to the liquidity that we have just built. And if we start looking at this, we are building liquidity on the highs until we have grabbed enough liquidity on the bottom. It's not here yet, but it is forming, so we need to be sharp at this. Till we have grabbed enough liquidity on the bottom to then reverse price again towards the liquidity that we have all just built. So I do not think the cycle top is in, but if we do manage to hit X mark, then of course something like this could happen. We could also always start to rotate from there. But I do think we could still expect upside. This is just a big liquidity curve. And it's a matter of time before we grab enough liquidity on the bottom till we get that rotation back up again. In my opinions, not financial advice, guys. But technical wise, those are the views. Liquidity wise, those are the views. Yeah, man. Even if we start to come deeply into this demand zone, if we start to just grab liquidity on the bottom each time till we've grabbed enough, then we can see that expansion towards the opposite side of liquidity. The market cannot just keep grabbing liquidity on the highs or on the lows forever, unless of course it's a dying project. It's a useless something that's not used for anything, but that is not Bitcoin these days. No. Great point of view about the news. Thank you, man. That's how I feel about this. Really interesting question from you. Thank you for asking that question. If you have any other questions, then go ahead. If you disagree with my views, then also let me know. Let's spar about it. Interested in your views. But yeah, that was basically my my views here, Bitcoin, and the longer term play. Where was I? Because I wanted to do those coins. Yeah, I was at this local part drawing these zones here, Solana. This was one point of interest, but then we have one more, and that is we had this last sell move before we took out this high, and that's actually untested. So we could find some support on there. Two point of interest, two places to look locally. That also makes this a great liquidity point. And let's see if price can come in here, downtrending, break structure above, and see if we can actually trade this 1 hour trend. See, are those equals? Yeah, that's beautiful. That is more bullish than bearish. Leaving up equal highs, we always do that for later on. We have front ran this little bit of price action. This little bit of price action caused us to lose this whole up move. So that's definitely the reason to come higher. Yeah. Solana.
You may be in your darkest hour. Know that night don't last forever. There's a morning coming in your life.
CRV. Haven't looked at this in a bit, man.
Stay down till you come up.
So this shit
Stay down till
crazy.
you come up. Stay down.
Man try say am I good, bro, do I look okay? Somehow I'm close to home, but still somehow I feel away. Don't waste your time and get me mad, car, bro, I'll ruin your day. I still ain't recovered from all this pain I felt back then, but hey, yo, tell me what have you done? Show me talk is cheap. Last week man spent like 10, 15, why would I lie, bro? Here's the receipt. I had to cut off my day one still. Far from shallow, that one was deep. Way too busy, I get no sleep. Feeling weird, I'm feeling peak. I don't force it, I just air it. The rumors, I don't hear it.
Okay.
Me clearly, my enemies, I don't fear them, yo. Me, I don't care if you like me, I don't care if you rate me. I never been one to beg no friendship, yes, I'm like that, baby. I'm the type to do you wrong and book one flight, let's switch location. Trust me, you need that bigger bag, that little one is way too basic. Don't ever lower your worth, my guy. That's when they start treating you mad. Uncle see me on the block, said, you look like your dad. Yo, camera one, she
First of all, this is for sure definitely a place where market makers stepped in, because this is also the model I was just talking about a bit. If you are grabbing liquidity on the lows, also with these kind of wicks, then you can expect them to do so until they've grabbed enough to then rotate price towards the other side of the liquidity. So this literally is a huge accumulation block, which was also a manipulation from this huge range as well. So this is a great manipulation leg. Let's just make it blue this time. And we can extend this to the right because market makers have stepped in here to push price up. And they've probably sold already a lot of bags, but the question we have to ask ourselves is, when price comes back here into these point of areas, the people that have pushed price up right here, are they ready to do it again? If so, you can see it on price and you can expect more upside. So let's find out if that is actually the case. Alright, hydrated again. Now we can keep on going. So what I want to start with is pretty much our, I want to say our high time frame structure, but this is pretty obvious. This is our last accumulation before we actually broke structure. This brought us all the way towards new lows. And this is also the part that brought us all the way to new highs. So I would say straight away uptrend. If we manage to keep this low, then expectation order flow would still be to break that high, as long as we can get that local confirmation. Let's remove this and actually start drawing in some point of interest. The weekly time frame, this was pretty much our last refined pullback before that huge expansion up, but the higher time frame, it's just this whole pullback. So we have a big demand zone and we have a refined demand zone. Yeah, let's look at this local picture, because we could expect that upside, but it depends on the local picture what is happening right here. Let's see. What we actually had here is a range. Okay, this is interesting. Where we had the range low, the range high, we actually deviated that high, deviated the low here, and another deviation of the low. This is, once again, the terms I'm talking about, accumulation. Alright, where these are your market makers buy signals. You're deviating a low, coming back into it, market makers filling up orders here to then push the price towards the technical target of this accumulation, and that is the range high, where this has been hit, and from there it is reversing. You also have it the other way around, your market makers sell signals. This is a really interesting chart. I think it's very beautiful. Beautiful liquidity curve. It was such a good move up. Alright. How can you tell an accumulation from a distribution? Do you mean how you can tell them apart? Because it's a simple thing. You have your word consolidation. And consolidation basically means moving sideways. And from consolidations, you can get accumulations and you can get distributions. Accumulations are market makers possibly filling up orders at the bottom, and distribution is the other way around at the highs. Distribution is basically short, accumulation is basically long. If that was your question. Okay. If that was your question, definitely let me know if I answered it okay. And if that was not your question, then I would like to hear a more detailed version of that question, so I can answer it correctly. Let's get further into this analysis. So the thing that we have done down here was beautiful, and you could have gotten a really good long towards your technical target, which is the range high, okay? And that is 60%. Those are not joke gains, right? That's the gains you should be happy with. You should easily close 80% at the technical target. I would say a bit differently. I wouldn't say you are wrong. What would you say differently, my friend? Let me know. So we had this amazing move up, hitting our technical target, and from there you can definitely see supplies taking over because we got such an aggressive expansion down. Most likely when you get such an aggressive expansion down, you are going to get some follow through, and that means supplies taking over. You made a low and then lower high and maybe a new lower low. I run accumulation and distribution on Wyckoff concept, and that's pretty much pure volume analysis. Yeah, the way I use this is actually a kind of Wyckoff version with accumulation distribution, but that then actually simplified, I think. I think the way I use it is really simplified and made easy. And this model with the tabs below it comes in the chart so often, man, and also at the highs, it's literally how the market makers fill up their orders. Sorry for interrupting you a lot, brother. I don't mind. I'm not live streaming for nothing with my chat on, right? So questions are ready to be fired. I prefer actually questions in the chat than analyzing, let's say, in front of no one. I'm still gonna do what I'm supposed to do and analyze my coins, even if I have 0 viewers, because I'm also doing the stream for myself, of course, by going through a few pairs, analyzing, keeping myself sharp, and seeing if there's anything interesting at the market. This would be your extreme supply. Why is this your extreme supply? Because it's the first time sellers stepped into the market to push price down. Oh, this was also a bit of a range block, right? It's probably on the lower time frame another distribution where you have the range high, the range low, you deviate the high once, market maker sell signal, and you touch extreme supply, which is also a market maker sell signal. It's beautiful, beautiful high. this your extreme point, because this is where buyers try to step in and make new highs again, but they failed and sellers stepped into the market and actually broke structure towards the downside. So this is also the part, if price comes back here, the sellers probably want to defend, especially backed by these highs right here and this aggressive follow-through move. It's obvious that price spikes up from here, because look at all the liquidity that we've built right here. It's just a big move up, and from there we can get that rotation going again. But we have front ran it, which is pretty interesting. So that makes me think, are we going to come back up here? We could. Because if you're looking at this structure wise, this pull or this pull, let's just use the highest one. Let's say this is one. We did kind of broke structure here. So the market could respect this higher low for a new higher high just to mitigate this supply, and from there make out new lows. Could be the case. But locally, if I see this kind of price action, I really do not want to trade the chart and touch the chart, because it is so ugly, right? It's not a high time frame, it's easy to analyze and to find a good direction, but when price is doing literally this, those big moves up and down, I would rather stay away from it, because price is unpredictable for me then, and untradeable. Where can we go to? All of this liquidity right here, man. Where could we possibly expect to bounce? Well, most of the time it is at your extreme part, okay? Let's move this to the left. So basically when price really decided, right here, to break structure above, hold, and then move up. So I would be looking at this being a really good target, and also would be a point to possibly get that reversal going, because the market makers had stepped in here and had pushed price up. So when price comes back here, are they willing to defend that position again? Let's wait and find out. Zoom in a bit. Is this not mitigated? Seriously, ugly price action on the 1 hour even. This is basically our first pull towards the downside, and then the buyer stepped in right there and also broke structure, and we started trending up from here. So this is also below all of our liquidity, combines great with this liquidity low, so this would be a scenario I'm watching. Also, I would be watching this scenario. It's your fee. Nice and easy, in your range, at your extreme zones. Wait for those good plays. And don't just start trading in the middle of the range, because you'll get dragged a lot by it. CRV. Done. Let's add this, because I do like the high time frame chart that it has created here. Then I'm going to do one more chart. Unless any of you guys in the chat have a request for a chart, then definitely let me know, because I'll pick it up. Oh my. Insane. This is actually where I want to use the volume profile. Yeah, well, this is not bad at all. What I like about ENA straight away is this rising volume. That means no matter what the price does, it goes up, it goes down, the interest of this coin keeps increasing. More people are trading this coin. Yes, the price is pretty low right now, but people are taking more interest in this coin because we keep on getting these good high volume spikes, and the volume keeps rising, so the interest in this coin also rises. All right. Let's start with our structure. Okay, there's only one line that we have to try in here. This pull towards the downside, it's not even valid, I think. It is not valid according to me. Okay. Check all their time frames. Doesn't mean this is a good block where price pushed from, but okay, this is interesting. This is why we take our time. Don't just start drawing in things. We want to look at every time frame to see what's going on here, because on the 3-day, this is valid and this is not valid. This is our last pull before we got that massive expansion up. There we go. Okay, so that also means if we manage to keep this low, then we could still expect price to start to go for those highs again. So let's zoom in a little bit, turn off the volume indicator because we know that looks alright. We have this 3-day block here, which I find very interesting. This was untouched and there's a bunch of liquidity above that block. And I am starting to like how this looks here. We could definitely expect some reaction from here to see if we can try and break this high, because this are pulled towards the upside that brought us towards new lows. So for a high time frame rotation towards the upside again, we need to gain that high, and then our structure is shift, and we can actually start running towards these points again. So I have to gain this, and let's look at the local part. Just a bit of those beats on the background. There we go. This is quite interesting. So many people have been trapped in here by thinking the price is gonna go up because of this great rounding bottom, right? Which I don't blame them, but there we go. Let's take this headset out of the charger now. I think it's full enough to keeping going with this stream, because this is the last coin I am going to analyze, and if there are any other coins, then definitely let me know, because I'll pick them up as well. This is interesting PA, guys, because what we have here is just huge, pretty much sideways price action, right? So we have this trot in like this. We have this huge range. Okay, just while holding our structure, but we had equal lows I see here now, so that's a magnet for price. leaves open a lot of liquidity. Everyone that has been longing in this demand block right here has their stop losses below here and their stop losses below here. And what price did here is so beautiful. It baited so many people into longs here, because yes, you did get that rounding bottom, and then we actually, instead of, you know, taking liquidity on the lows until you have taken enough liquidity to then take out liquidity on those highs, equal highs. Great magnets for price. Till we have grabbed enough liquidity to then get a reversal towards the liquidity that we have all just built. We did not get it. We did get that. Okay, that's not great. Need to put this in the chart. And that is not what we got here. We did get that fake move up, and we started building higher lows, getting a lot of people into longs, but to then stop those people out right now and actually grab those equal lows and touch our extreme demand point of interest right now. While we have this range, I do want to draw on this scenario right now where we have this manipulation leg below it, following it with an expansion towards the upside. This is a power of 3. It's I would say market maker model. Yeah, sure, just a manipulation leg below it to fill up their own orders, while baiting a lot of the retail people into longs here, which creates more liquidity below it. So that makes it interesting to accumulate here and then actually get that expansion up. So this would be a really great scenario. I think ENA is looking really great. From as well on a high time frame perspective, and also from a liquidity perspective, a lot of liquidity here, and also what could form here. But of course, we still need to form price action for in order to start longing here. There's no reason to buy in yet, absolutely no reason. We need that local confirmation that we are going to get that rotation towards the opposite side again. But this is a scenario for sure. Yeah. Do want to mark out this last buy move, and a seller stepped in to push price down is untested. Okay, this is actually just perfect PO3 wise, because what you always have with those PO3 is a supply right before entering the range again. Because if you manage to reclaim these lows, then we could get that expansion going, right? But there is something that is holding us back, and that is this supply. So what do you often see here? If you start to accumulate here, so create a range between these 2 points, take out the low, create a bit of liquidity, take out that liquidity, then we start trading up, and we touch this supply. You can see a lot of sellers stepping into the market, but then you get that squeeze, and then just pump up and completing that PO3. So I do like that this is sitting here. Locally, a lot still has to happen before any upside, but the 4 hour we have broken our first structure. This is the high that brought us towards new lows, and that low brought us towards a new high, which is a change of character. So this could mean we could respect price to hold this low and break this high, because that is expectational order flow of this trend down here now. Or this was just the meaning to touch this supply, and then we're just going down again towards this low and maybe accumulate from there. A lot of scenarios, but a lot for price to develop here. But I do like ENA on the higher time frame. It's definitely going on my watch list. For sure. So it looks like we have created that higher high from this whole expansion up now, because we are trying to break structure now. That is here. If you break this structure, you're gonna make that lower high for lower lows, that lower high for lower lows. Where is it interesting for price? This is a good 1 hour order block that is one tested. This is also your origin, because this is the first time that price pushed up, held, and buyers stepped in and started breaking structure. So that's a really good point of interest to wait from. And this is also where I want to look locally for some longs or scalps towards highs. Good point of interest. This is really your last block combined with this liquidity that was grabbed right here. Because when you go over a high, you take out all of the people that were shorting this down, possible starting to downtrend move. You take out all of these people. You also attract a lot of buyers here, which creates more stop losses below the lows. So yeah, this is going to be some resistance. Not that interested in shorting here, just because the high time frame does look good for upside, and because we did attract a lot of buyers here, and we have not broken this low yet, because on the 1 hour this is 1 hour structure, and we have just wicked it now. So this could just be a liquidity hunt to continue this run towards the upside. Could be the case. No reason for shorts yet. It's still up until proven otherwise. And we're still in this expansion. We're not in that expansion anymore if we can come back to this point, the middle part. Then our range is confirmed from low to high, and then we could actually start do this or do this, right? It's ENA. This would also be it for the stream for today, unless any of you guys still have, yeah, Bitcoin just doing what I anticipated down until proven otherwise. This was the stream for today then, unless any of you guys still have a chart you want to see, a coin you looked at, you found interesting, and you want to see someone else's view on that coin, then I'm the guy to pick it up from. I'm someone who does his technical analysis with an objective conclusion. I look at the chart in an objective way, and I do not have a bias coming into the charts I draw in. Okay, I just look at it from a bullish way and from a bearish way. I'm not holding any spot in them, so I'm not particularly biased in a certain way, and I do not base my analysis on being really bullish or being bearish. I just look at the facts that the chart is showing me, and based on those facts I make up conclusions that we traders could possibly hook into and actually make some trades from. Okay, your views are much appreciated, mate. Thank you, man. That means a lot to me. A lot as a trader. By the way, are you Zinkai from the Discord? Or are you not? If you are not, then brother, I would advise you, of course, on free will, to join the Discord. I'm there sharing my charts pretty much every day. Oh, yes, you are. Okay. Great to have you here, man. Great that you were watching the whole stream, this whole hour. It's beautiful, man. You just had a free one-on-one mentoringship. How do you think about that? Just a free hour, you asking questions, me going over the charts. Beautiful, man. I appreciate you being here. I also appreciate you joining the Discord, straight out asking questions, being active. So I love that, man. Thing is, I do not want people joining the Discord that are not active, right? Because I don't have... they don't add anything. And I do want to combine a lot of people. And I don't want to advise people to really copy my way of trading. But you just want like-minded traders that have the same views on the charts. Therefore, you can never miss something. You just look at the same thing, and all in all, it just helps, you know. Just combining more minds to one chart, it's always better. So, brother Sinkai, if you have any charts, you need creative quality people. Agreed. Yeah. If you do not have those people, you're never gonna build a community, right? And I think I do have the experience and the knowledge to start that community. That's why I have it started. Because analyzing, and I wouldn't say trading is easy now, but analyzing is really easy for now. It's 3 years of blood, sweat, and tears. So many hours behind the desk, and I hope you can all see that back into the charts, of course. It wouldn't be great if you didn't see it back, at least. So I mean, if you've been a while on the channel now, I've done so many live streams. If you watch back at them on my views on certain coins, on certain on the Nasdaq and stuff, they're all, I wouldn't say 100% accurate, but they're also accurate. And my trading journey on the Nasdaq, it's just as transparent as possible, man. I'm uploading everything that I'm doing on my Nasdaq trades, trading the funded accounts, trying to get payouts live, all on YouTube, to actually build that credibility, you know. Because I'm still new into the YouTube game, I need to build credibility for myself and for other people. I didn't know you live stream. I live stream a lot, man. Pretty much almost every day. I do not want to be one of those commercial YouTubers now, you know. Just like buy Doge now, 50x. No, I just want to... my YouTube videos are on the purpose for myself as well. So just my technical views, my trading plan on it. And also that way I can just start journaling my whole trading journey, right? It actually helped me a lot with improving and looking back at certain things while recording it and stuff. And of course, in a few years, when you're on the boats, on the yachts, then looking back at those videos is always great. Now, guys, that was the stream then. If there are no more requests, then I'm gonna end the stream here. Said this like 3 times now, but just having a chill time, just chilling here. I'm ending the stream here. Thank you for being here, Sinkai. If you have any charts, then drop them in the Discord. If you want to know my view on certain charts, drop it. I'll share a chart in the Discord. We're always there to help, always there to chat. Let's start building something, okay? Guys, thank you all for being here. And I'll see you all in the next one. Cage is out.